If you're trying to pass a drug test using the Certo method, 100% you're doing it wrong. Most guides online tell you to take it 2 to 3 hours before your test. That's basically nonsense. It simply won't have enough time to work the way that it's supposed to. My name's Daniel Miller, and I'm going to explain why the common advice about the Certo method doesn't work and what might actually help instead. Almost every video or guide tells you to mix Certo with Gatorade and drink it 2 to 3 hours before your test. But if you check the comments on those videos, you'll see plenty of people saying that they still failed. So let's break down why that happens. First, let's quickly cover how marijuana is processed by your body. Now, when you smoke or consume edibles, THC enters your bloodstream, travels to the liver, and gets metabolized. About 65% of these metabolites are excreted through your intestines in your stool. The rest is excreted through urine. However, inside the intestines, some of those metabolites get reabsorbed through the intestinal walls. These reabsorbed metabolites then re-enter your bloodstream and can eventually end up back in your urine. Now, a urine drug test measures the concentration of these metabolites. If the concentration is above a certain cutoff level, you fail the test. Okay, back to the Certo method. The reason people think it works, or why it sometimes appears to work when taken shortly before a test, often comes down to dilution. Basically, you're drinking a large volume of liquid. The Certo mixed with Gatorade plus maybe extra water. This flushes out the metabolites already in your bladder and temporarily dilutes any new urine being produced. For a short window, this will bring the metabolite concentration below the test detection level. But what about Certo itself? Well, Certo is fruit pectin, which is a type of soluble fiber. The theory behind using it is that this fiber travels to your intestines and binds to the THC metabolites excreted there. This binding action is supposed to prevent those metabolites from being reabsorbed through the intestinal walls, thus stopping them from re-entering your bloodstream and ending up in your urine. That sounds plausible, right? But here's the problem: timing. It takes time for metabolites to be reabsorbed from the intestines, 1 to 3 hours. Then it takes additional time moving from the intestines back into the blood and then into the urine, another 2 to 4 hours. And Certo itself needs time to travel through your stomach and reach the intestines, 1 to 2 hours. So if you add that up, for Certo to actually bind metabolites in the intestines and prevent their reabsorption from affecting your urine, it likely needs to be in your system for at least 5 hours, maybe closer to 7 hours on average before the test. Drinking Certo just 2 to 3 hours beforehand means it probably hasn't even reached the critical point in your intestines, let alone had enough time to bind anything effectively. Now, you're essentially just paying for pectin-flavored Gatorade and relying solely on dilution. You're wasting your money on the Certo itself for that specific timing. So, why do so many people claim this 2 to 3 hour method works? Because, like I mentioned, they're succeeding due to the dilution from drinking all of those fluids, not because the Certo itself is doing anything significant in that short window. The Certo likely has almost no impact when taken so close to the test. Honestly, it makes you wonder if all the buzz around the Certo method isn't just good marketing for fruit pectin sales. However, could Certo actually help if used differently? Maybe. If you were to take it much earlier, say the night before your test, as some less common advice suggests, it would have sufficient time to reach your intestines. Theoretically, it could then bind to metabolites being excreted overnight and reduce the amount reabsorbed into your bloodstream. But Even then, it's unclear how significant this reabsorption pathway really is for overall metabolite levels in urine. So, the actual effectiveness of even this approach is still highly questionable. You might be better off saving your money on Certo altogether and focusing on proper hydration and other more reliable methods if you're concerned about a test. Now, if you're looking for something designed specifically for this situation, there are products out there like the Fast Marijuana Detox kit from Green Fleece. Now, this kit comes with all the necessary ingredients already measured in. Its main goal is to rapidly lower the concentration of marijuana metabolites in your urine below detectable levels. But critically, it also works to restore the natural characteristics of your urine. Things like the correct pH, creatine levels, and specific gravity. This is really important because labs often run validity tests to check if a sample looks too diluted or tampered with. Now, this kit helps ensure your sample passes those checks too. The best part? It's designed to work fast in just 60 minutes, and the effects are intended to last for up to 5 hours, giving you a clear window. Plus, if you're in a hurry, they offer overnight delivery. Now, if you want to check out this kit for yourself, you can find the link down in the description below.